The word for you today, we're starting a new week. And our lesson today is leave the judging to God. Oh, that sounds easy, doesn't it? Yeah, but just let something happen and see how easy it really is. Matthew 13, verse 26. It says, when the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. Jesus is telling a parable of the wheat and the tares. A man sowed good seed in his field. An enemy came along and sowed weeds or tares along with that. They both grew up. They looked a lot alike. And as they grew, their roots kind of intertwined underneath the ground. And they came up and they looked alike until they started forming heads. And then you could tell that one was a wheat and the other was tares, which was kind of a poisonous type plant. The workers came and asked the man and says, okay, didn't you plant good seed? And the man said, yes. Well, there's these weeds, these tares have come up also. Do you want us to pull the tares out? The man said, no, don't pull them out, because if you do, you're also going to pull the good up too. Let's let them go ahead and come to a harvest, and then we'll separate them. The message for us here is to continue doing right, and God will do the judging at the proper time. So how can we stop judging and allow God to be the judge? Well, first of all, we need to examine our motives. When we are judging someone, are we insecure? Are we prideful? Are we spiteful? We have a bad attitude about that person. So you know what? We judge them. We judge them. We say, you're not worth this. So the first thing we need to do is examine our motives. What's our attitude like? The second thing, we need to learn to be humble and exercise discernment. Perhaps this person has gone through some really difficult things, and maybe we just need to know this person a little bit better. And then we can better understand why they're acting the way they're acting. Third thing, remember that we have been forgiven much. There's a saying that says, forgiven people forgive people. When I stop and think about all that God has forgiven me for, my goodness, how can I not forgive others? And then trust God to do the judging. Trust him to do the judging. There was a lady named Dodie. She was a school teacher for 13 years. She decided to travel across America and see the sites that she had been teaching her students about. So she had a truck and a camper, and she launched out, and on one afternoon on I-5, on Highway 5 near Sacramento, California, in rush hour traffic, a water pump blew on her truck. She was tired, exasperated, she was scared and alone. And in spite of the traffic jam, no one seemed interested in helping her. Leaning up against the trailer, she just prayed, God, please send me an angel, preferably one with mechanical experience. Within just a few minutes, here comes her angel. He's driving a huge Harley. He's got long hair. He's got tattoos. He's got all the leather and the gear on and all. And he's an enormous, actually a mean-looking guy. And he comes up and checks out what's wrong, and he flags down a trucker. And they hook onto the trucker hooks onto her truck with the trailer and camper and pulls it off of the highway onto a side street. And he's there working on it and gets it all fixed out and where it's working again. And she's just, oh my, thank you. But the whole time she's kind of looking at him, and he can read the look. Here's this single woman, and here he is, and he knows he probably looks very intimidating. And he said to her, don't judge a book by its cover. You may not know who you're talking to. With that, he smiled, fired up his Harley, and took off. She was grateful. She asked God to send an angel, and God did. The angel just didn't look like what she anticipated the angel to look like. There are people God wants to bring into our life and bless us. And sometimes maybe we run those people off because we are making a judgment about that person. We need to leave the judging to God. Get to know people and see what God is doing in their life. And God may that may be an angel God has sent to us, even though they don't look like an angel. So let me ask you, has there been people come into your life And you were quick to judge them because of their looks, their actions, where they come from, the way they talk, the way they walk, anything about them. And you're quick to judge and say, oh, this can't be a very good person. But you take time to get to know them. Maybe they're not a good person. Okay, you get to know them and find out. But it could be an angel dressed up in a Harley outfit. Have a good day.